Have you ever talked to a senior executive and noticed that you lose their eye contact midway through one of your sentences? Like they've lost interest in your story or are focusing on something else while you're talking. Well, I've experienced this many times. So how do you communicate with senior executives or your boss and sustain their attention? This is tricky, but from my experience, I know that people in senior positions are usually engaged in multiple projects and they're focused on the future, particularly on how to make their businesses better. So often they're in deep thought, probably thinking about something that isn't what you're thinking about. So when communicating with your boss or a senior executive, it's important to know what's important to them. You could start by asking them a question to ascertain their interest or familiarity with your concern. A good way might be, for example, Angela, do you think the low number of female students studying IT is a concern? Or do you remember the paper I had written requesting something? At this stage, you actually haven't asked them your question. Rather, you're checking to see if it's of interest and of one of their top concerns. Then you can provide them with a brief, and I stress brief, context, so they can understand why you're raising the issue. If they continue to appear interested, then expand, but always continue to ask questions. This helps them stay focused and on track, and ensure you stay focused and on point. Often staff have approached me or other senior execs requesting funds, or they've tried to update me with an incident that happened in the past, which I've totally forgotten about. Without any context, your boss won't know what the funding's for, or the impact it will have, or how it will improve the organisation, or whether it's aligned with their strategic direction. If you are providing them with an update, remind them of the incident and why it's important for them to act. Finally, don't assume your boss knows what you're referring to. Upward communication is a skill, but one definitely worth practicing. Remember to gauge their interest first. Perhaps start by asking a question, then provide a brief context, but keep it brief before you elaborate any further. Get to the point quick and always focus on outcomes rather than process. Good luck in your upward communication.